It
Look
is
good.
fixed.
All
That's
right,
about the
buddy.
best way I can do it.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Fish, we are live. It's the Daily Fish Hook. We got playoffs, quarterback golf, a waste, some weekend binging, and of course, Johnny and Amber. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Daily Fish Hook. I'm John Daly. He is Eric Fish Schneider. We're coming to you from Vegas and Myrtle Beach. We cover sports and entertainment with a viewpoint you probably won't get anywhere else. You can catch our full show on Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. This is just a warm up. So, Fish, how you doing, buddy? And do you feel justice was done for Johnny Depp?
It's an it's dizziest. Here, I'm doing my Doug Flynn imitation. When you saw him on the golf course, Doug Flynn, fan of the show, alumni of the show. I'm flabbergasted. It's the number one most streamed and watched event in the United States on social media and the internet in the last 2 weeks. I'm not a big fan. I didn't watch one bit of this thing. We have other problems in the world. I'm trying to. I'm a grandfather. I'm trying to get milk for my granddaughter. That's what we do every day. We go to the stores and go online. There's other problems in the world. Let me show you a picture of this guy, John. Let me tell you what I think of this guy. Look at that picture of him. Okay, he reminds me of either since he did lose out in the Pirates of the Caribbean role, which is wrong. They judged him, and he proved that he lost out on that because of this lawsuit. He looks like he's trying out to become looks like he's a member of a cartel trying to become the next Ron Jeremy. That's number one.
Yep.
Number two, he also looks like those guys in the 90s that were standing at Tower Records on Sunset selling the Pam and Tommy sex tape. That doesn't look like Johnny Depp to me, but that's Johnny Depp nowadays. He does. He looks like, I mean, I know both things involve porno or, a sex tape, but it didn't intrigue me at all. It did not it, get my mind juices going. What about you? Am I in the minority here?
Absolutely not. You and I are in the minority because there's so many
Yeah, we
people that
are.
watch it, and the hours were just ridiculous. But I'm the same way. I did not watch a thing. I think the interest in this trial, the superlative interest in this trial, is why our nation is so stupid, and it's because we pay attention to things like that, and that we ignore other problems that we have. You pointed it out. You talked about the baby formula. Talk about global warming. Talk about the war in Russia and Ukraine, and we need to be paying attention to those things because those are things that we need to know about. I love entertainment, but I don't like entertainment without substance. And this was entertainment without substance. It was mindless stuff. It was two people arguing and going at each other. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to eavesdrop on that. I mean, it's bad enough. I hear what you talk about. I mean, pooping in the bed. I mean, come on.
Well, that's what you and I do when we get to be our age. That's a natural thing. So, yeah, they're a little bit too young for that, but I get it. I don't want to put anyone. Everyone's got the right to their opinions. And the Kardashians are streaming right now. We talked about this before with the marriage of Travis Barker and was it Chloe or Courtney? I can't get them. I don't know who it is. Or no, it's Kim. No, Kim's with Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
It was some tattooed love boy. I get it, but what I don't get is the fact that maybe I'm wrong. I like to keep an open mind about things, but you're right. I like entertainment. I will segue into this for you. Maybe you have something in the script. You got my mind going. I went through the first 6 episodes of Stranger Things. I just saw that it dropped. There's 7 episodes going. Then I think they're going to release 2 more. I want to ask you 2 questions about it. What do you think about it so far? And are you amazed that each episode is about an hour and 14 minutes long?
I was, and I'm only into the second episode right now. We're gonna binge it over the weekend. But I think it's great. Two, I think the actors are fabulous, especially the young ones, and the young ones are really carrying the this final season. I think it's the final season, and it's kind of different now that we've got a war with Russia going on.
Yeah, and
So
then yeah, and I'll tell you what the Duffer Brothers do, and they're the creators and most of the writing on this is they give you 4 stories intrigued into one. You got the stories of the kids, the Winona Ryder's family moved to California to Lenora Hills. It's always fictitious names. Then you got the people back into small town Indiana. You got the story with Hopper in Russia. I mean, and then you got L. You go back to L's and Matthew. I'll give you a little secret, everyone. Matthew Modine comes back in a big way
yeah,
in this
yeah,
thing. I love it so far. Like I said, I'm 6 in. I'm not going to do any spoilers. I will say this: there's a new character. Okay, his name is Eddie Munson. He plays this grunged out hippie. Now this place takes 1986. I don't know about you. Captivating character. You love this guy, John, or not?
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Eddie Munson.
yeah, everything about it, and what I would say is it was way too long before coming, but a lot of it was the pandemic. I would say before you jump into the season, go watch the review. They did a really good review of the past seasons leading up to it, so I think it's really worth it. Would you say that if you hadn't seen the first 3 seasons, you could still jump into the fourth season?
No, I think they did it. Now, you know, that's a great question you just asked, and I think you do. I think you have. Well, okay, we'll go to another series like Goliath, which was Billy Bob Thornton. Every single season was him getting involved in a different lawsuit. So you don't need the previous seasons. Maybe a little backstory about the character, but this one you have to know what happened with Ellie. You have to know what goes on with with the monsters and it's Hawkins. Hawkins is the name of the small town that we think is cursed. You have to know the backstory of what goes on. I think you do. What about you?
Yeah, I think so too. I was just thinking, because it was a really good preview that they gave us. I would say it was probably about 8 to 10 minutes long, and we watched it again just because. Okay, wait, I just want to go back. Okay, yeah. I remember that because it was, you
I,
know,
I,
plus,
I
plus we
want to
got
ask you.
COVID.
I'm going to go back and forth on this because we're both in agreement. The last thing I want to say about it is what I think what's really interesting and it's really brilliant is these are small kids that we saw 5 years ago, and now they're all teenagers, and they did a wonderful way of ingratiating 1986 and the music. You have to admit, we lived.
Yep.
We were you and I was 26. You were a kid also in 1986, so we remember the music, and they made. It's hard sometimes to make teenagers likable because they're teenagers, but they did.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a great job. It's funny, every now and then there's a little something, and my wife Terry will say, "They don't look like a teenager right there." So
Yeah.
you can
Well,
tell these are actors who have, who are probably most of them are probably in their early 20s.
who's your
But I
favorite
think,
character? No, I'm sorry. Who's your favorite character? I'll give you mine. It's probably someone that's not who you think it is.
I'm drawing a blank on the name, but it's the young kid who had a lot of the surgery in the off season. I'm trying to think
Well, the
which one
character's
you
name is Dustin. His name is Dustin in the show. I don't
Dustin.
know what the
Yeah,
character's. Yeah.
yeah,
My favorite character. You're gonna love this one because when he started out in the show, he's kind of a douche, but I love Steve Harrington.
yeah.
The guy. Yeah. He was a big athlete and he was with I'm drawing a blank about who the sister, the good-looking
Yep,
sister
yep, yeah.
of Mike, and that still live in Hawkins, and it just I'm so into this show. I'm so excited. Like I said, I rather watch 6 episodes of that than listening to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard talking about pooping in the bed. I have enough problems with that.
There you go. And that's the entertainment that we should be talking about as well. Just to also let you guys know, on Monday, we're also going to have Heidi's Hollywood giving us inside scoops from Tinseltown. Heidi is digging up some different stuff. We've also got the man, the myth, the legend, the hardline, the Daily Fish hardline, John Hardison as well. Also, Fish, we got a great show coming up, and I know there's a lot of stuff we still want to talk about here. Again, we're on Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. You can go to Facebook at daily.fish.5. We're also on Facebook on the Myrtle Beach Golf Channel, Myrtle Beach Grand Strand Life. Catch us on YouTube at Daily Fish. We're also on Wingding TV. And you can also hear us on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Stitcher, and iHeart. You can drop us a line at dailyfish, the number one, at gmail.com, dailyfish1. Also, on Monday, we have the top casino host ever in Las Vegas. His name is Steve Sear. He has written a book called Whale Hunting in the Desert. He has some great stories. He's going to tell us about what's shaking in Vegas now, compare it to the past. And Fish, what's even more amazing, he's an amateur boxer.
Yeah, I didn't know that. When you sent me, I met the guy back at the 2002 Super Bowl. And we shook hands. A very, 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 very ambitious man with his handshake and just cordial and jocular. You can see that job takes a lot. You're dealing with guys that are playing $25,000 hands roulette, and you got to make them happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got some great stories about some of the high rollers. Larry Flint was one of his biggest clients. Larry Flint has passed away, but so we'll probably hear some great stories about him. But I know he in the book he actually says some very gracious and nice things about Larry Flint as well. So anyway, so that's coming up on Monday. Let's go back to some other what we were talking about, kind of entertainment. I'll drag a little sports in it. So the big match was this week. The big match in golf. Four NFL quarterbacks played golf in Vegas. I congratulate everybody for raising money for a number of charities, including Feeding America. But I don't know about you, Fish. I'm a big golfer. I don't watch this. To me, it's ridiculous. And I'm somebody. I was on the Celebrity Players Tour for a short while. You know that. I was
Yeah.
at kind of the end, and I remember looking, and I remember saying to myself, "There's nobody here." And why would there be anybody here? I'm not going to watch golf unless Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson are playing in those events. Why would I come out to watch me? I wouldn't even come out to watch Michael Jordan play. Why would I do that? So in watching this, I understand where you're going with this, but to me, and again, this is me, and I think it's great they're raising money, so I'm not knocking them. But to me, it's just it's not watchable. Plus, people were getting hurt in this in the crowds there because these guys aren't good golfers. How about you?
Well, I don't know if they're bad golfers, and I know Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers could shoot. The great golfer. They should have Tony Romo. I hear, and you probably played with the guy. Tony Romo is a phenomenal golfer as far as, and I think he didn't try out for the U.S. Senior Tour or one of the.
He did. He did. He actually played on. So did Steph Curry.
Steph Curry. There's some great golfers out there. I no interest, and I hate to use this word because people say, it's a bad word to use. I'm a football junkie. You know me. I watch everything football. And if there's guys playing football that are top in their game, those are the four top quarterbacks in the National Football League, in my opinion. No interest. I'm sorry. I have no comment. I didn't watch it.
Well, and I always say to people is that would you watch the Green Bay Packers if Brooks Koepka was the quarterback, if he came in to fill in?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Well,
I
no.
wouldn't.
Wait. He's a backup quarterback. That's a great. What is this? Heaven Can Wait with Warren Beatty? Joe Pendleton? He's a backup quarterback. Yeah, you're going to watch. The golfer, I'll tell you what. Are you going to watch this? Okay. Phil Mickelson, Brooks Koepka, Tiger Woods, and Jordan Spieth, the four of them are going to do in a punt, pass, and kick contest. I mean, that might be more interesting, for charity. See, remember those? I was in that punt, pass, and kick thing. You probably did too as a kid. It was a lot of fun.
No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, we didn't have it in my town.
You know why this thing became popular? Because in 2020, when we were starving for sports, the first live sporting event was Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I can't think of the other guy. Was it Mickelson? No, it was Mickelson, Tiger.
Yeah.
Who was it? It was Mickelson, Tiger, Peyton, and Brady. And they were cursing, and it was raining like hell, and the ratings were out of the roof. Because as a first sporting event, we all watched after 3 months of watching or streaming stuff and watching reruns because of the pandemic. Do you think they thought they could piggyback off that, John?
I think they were thinking that absolutely, and I don't know. Again, I congratulate them because they raised a lot of money for charity. They did have some fun. People like to do it, and in some respects, it's kind of a little bit like us. People tell us when we bring our guests on, they listen because it's like eavesdropping on three people, drinking at a bar. Watching this is a little bit eavesdropping on them, but I don't know. For me, my time is like, nah, I'm going to watch something else. Now, I am going to watch the U.S. Women's Open this weekend from Pine Needles. It's already started already, and there's a couple of reasons for me. I've played there before at Pine Needles. Great course, great Donald Ross course. But there's also some history involved in this. One, it's a major tournament. Two, it's the biggest payday in golf history for women, a $10 million purse. The winner gets $1.8 million. Nelly Korda, who's a great golfer, she's coming back. She had blood clot surgery. She's coming back today for the first time. Michelle Wie may actually be playing her final event. She's going to be a total full-time mommy. So I'm actually going to be watching that. And a lot of people say, I can't do it. I've played in pro-ams, celebrity pro-ams at PGA and LPGA events. And I'll tell you right now, the LPGA events, I got a lot more out of it because those women golfers could relate to my game, or I could relate to their game better than I could some of the PGA guys who are hitting the ball 350 yards. I ain't hit the ball 350 yards. So I think most guys, I tell them, you should be watching women's golf because that's what your golf game is. and they're pros at it. So, so I'm going to be watching that. I'm going to be glued also to the NBA and the NHL this weekend too. How about you?
Well, you're sad about Michelle Wee. I mean, every man that's been married over 30 years can get a hall pass, and she's one of my women. And now you tell me she's gonna be a full time mommy. I'm not the dad. Okay, that's on my hall pass. Great, but you know what? The thing about women's, the fact that you hit the nail on the head about one thing. I'm very very grateful they're getting paid. You know, because they did women's golf. You're right, Michelle Wee. There's some great women golfers out there, including her. She's a legend, and I like watching it. If I do watch a golf, and I will, and I'm a guy. I'm a guy who's going to watch golf when I see the leaderboard when I get up Sunday morning and watch it. I'm, you know, and if it's bunched together, I'll watch it. But I'm a cornucopia of all the sports. You're right. I'll be watching. Hey, and we got. Let's segue into this. We have a phenomenal matchup in the NBA with the Golden State Warriors and Boston Celtics. The marquee team the last 8 years is the Golden State Warriors, and the Boston Celtics, along with the Lakers, are the marquee team in the history of the game.
Yeah.
I think, John, and I'll ask your opinion. This Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Poole, I said Klay Thompson. I think Boston can't get down 0-2. Jason Tatum's really got to step up. They can. They got some injuries. We'll see a good series. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a good series. I'm picking a Golden State, but I got to tell you, I am really impressed with the Celtics, and I've followed the Celtics for many years. I think what they've done in the past 3 months, this is a team. This is a real team that plays together, plays defense together, and seems to adjust. I mean, they beat some good teams down the stretch. So, there's some people who are saying, "Oh, this could be a 4 game." I don't think it's a 4 game sweep. I think
No
it
way.
goes 7, and I think the fact that
Wow.
they're going to be in Golden State. I think the fact that they're going to be in San Francisco for 4 of the 7, I think it goes that way. Does that mean that the Celtics can't win in San Francisco and the Warriors can't win in Boston? No, no, I don't think so. I think if anything, I think both these teams have proven that they can win on the road. So I think it's
You're
going to
right.
be a good series. I think it's going 7, and I'm going Golden State.
Right. And are you a big fan? Like the first game is tonight, then they go Sunday, then Wednesday. They're dragging us out to June 20th. I'm not a big fan of that. Either the players. The players like it
Yeah,
more every other day, like they do in hockey. And they say, well, the guys get tired. Well, hockey guys aren't beating the shit out of each other. They've been
yeah,
playing for 9 months. To
yeah.
segue into that, can you believe the Rangers' offense the last 3 games? I mean, the hockey playoffs are known for being close. They in the seventh game, all right, they blow out your backyard, Carolina. For them to go in and beat Tampa is the best goal in the league in basketball last game. Okay, 6 goals.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say this on our show, which is national. I'm rooting for the Rangers for a lot of reasons. The history of my family in New York. I'm a big Gerard Gallant fan. You know, I'm not a big Knights fan, and they're my second favorite team. I like what this guy did for this city, and he's a class act, and it's good for hockey. I'll say this, and I'll leave it on this. Darcy Kemper, who is the goalie for the Colorado Avalanche, got injured. They don't know the extent of the injury. If he's
Yeah.
out, that
Yeah.
gives Edmonton, who's a high-scoring team, a chance. I think this, John, if the Rangers could beat Tampa, who's a mini dynasty and has won the last 2 cups, they beat Tampa, they got a chance of winning the cup. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think so too. And last night was really impressive. I also thought the game against the clinching game against the Hurricanes
Sure.
was a really good game. And again, I was talking to a lot of Hurricanes fans, and I was saying to them, and they agreed with me. I said, 4 minutes into the game, you knew the Rangers were going to win that game. They just had more energy. They just seemed to be playing better. And then on top of it, when they hit the ice last night against the Lightning, they were even better. So they could be getting hot at the right time, and I would say so. I would have said at the beginning of this, or maybe 3 or 4 days ago, I would have said it's going to be the Avalanche and the Lightning. I don't know if I'm going to say that anymore, but it should be really fascinating. I'm really looking forward to it.
Right. And again, we're 50 games into the baseball season. We'll start getting more into baseball. I mean, we have a big baseball audience. John and I'll start doing some of our division breakdowns and handicapping, sort of like a 60 game into the season when the NBA and NHL playoffs are over. Right now, it's too early.
Yeah,
I had people at the bar, Hardison, Judd Harline said, "You think Otani is going to win the MVP?" It's 25-1 right now at the
yeah,
West Gate and some of the books. I don't know right now. It's too early when you're only 40, 50 games into it, but. It's an exciting time of the year. And again, being the addict I am, I won't use the word junkie anymore. I piss people out, and they're right. It's sensitive. Well, the addict I am for the NFL and football in general, it's nice to know that we're getting close to training camp, and there's a lot of great stories in the NFL. They're still out there. We'll address it. John, kind of tease a little bit what we're going to talk. We have a couple of great subjects in our daily grind, and one's about, for example, we won't talk about what we're going to talk about, but we could do a. So John lives in the Carolina area, and I said, John, I noticed in the seventh game of the Ranger series, a ton of Ranger fans there. You know, we're gonna. What's your take on that, John? Are we having a new culture now where there's no more home court or home field advantage because you're going to sell your ticket and people are willing to travel?
I think that's one thing that's happening. I think the other thing is happening is you're seeing a lot of people transplanting. So, for instance, remember I was doing one of our remotes at Chubby Buddha Sports Bar. So Joe Leone, who's the owner there, he's from New Jersey, huge Rangers fan, huge Knicks fan. So I talked to him yesterday, and so I asked him about that, and he said, well, he was at the game, and he said the crowd became bigger and bigger Rangers fans as the game moved on. But I said, are you going down to Tampa? And he goes, you know what? He says the games are already sold out down there. So I don't know if it's Lightning fans or if it's New York fans who are, hey, we got to be down there for that. So,
well, what state, John, you live in that part of the country. What state has the biggest transplant of New Yorkers? It's Florida. You know, so it'd be interesting to see. I mean, they played the first game in Madison Square Garden, but again, I can't tell you. You can turn on TV every weekend. You got golf. I'm gonna watch the women's golf, baseball, hockey, basketball, USFL, which is having decent ratings. So we're gonna take this all in, snuggle it, and have a great time. Back to something on streaming. What's your take? Some little round. We got 6 minutes to go. I never really. You and I talk a lot. We take our dogs for a walk. We talk. We want to talk about Today Fish. We talk about politics. Talk about our families, religion, and what we're going to talk about in Daily Fish. And one thing that really kind of aggravates me is that Pete Rozelle, commissioner of the NFL, then Paul Tagliabue takes over after him, and Roger Goodell all promised that NFL will always be on free TV. Yeah. Well, it's going to be announced this week, John, that Apple TV is taking over their biggest platform, and that's the DirecTV NFL Sunday Ticket. This is the last year on DirecTV, John. Apple's taking it over, so you're going to have to buy a smart TV, and it's going to be streamed. What's your take on that? Do you think that's a brilliant ploy, or they'll lose people?
I don't think they'll lose people. I think I'm not going to say it's a brilliant ploy. I think it's an economic ploy that makes sense. Just this morning, and again, I'm from New England area. I watch the Red Sox. I watch the Bruins. I watch the Celtics. The Bruins and the Red Sox are on NESN, which is New England Sports Network. New England Sports Network just announced today that they have their own streaming now. Now you can only get it if you are in the New England area. So me down south here, I can't get it because that's MLB has control over that. So I could watch Red Sox games, every Red Sox game and every Bruins game. I think it's $29 a month. I still think that's a little expensive, but it would be I think it would be $230 a year. So I think, and again, I got TV on behind me. That's actually cable that I have on. I'm talking to a lot of people, and I'm probably going to be switching out my cable because it's going to make more sense to do the streaming stuff. That's where it's all going. And it's just the way. Oh, that must be the cable company calling you, telling you don't leave. But it is.
Hang on. Oh, it's a lawyer for Johnny Depp.
Oh,
yeah. It was feces. We're calling it feces in the sheets. Okay. Yes, sir. Yeah. Sue me at dailyfish.1. whatever. Yeah. I don't think now. You know what? Daily thinks the same thing. I don't think he can play Ron Jeremy. He's too fat, Johnny Depp. Bye.
What? Oh, come on. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Going back to that, what you got. I bought DirecTV for one reason in 1998 to get the NFL Sunday ticket to watch the then Oakland Raiders. But now the Raiders are here in Las Vegas. I can watch every game, but I still want to watch the Giants and other teams. But now my DirecTV is hooked up to every single TV in my house. I have one TV that's a smart TV. So now I have to get a smart TV for the man cave because not this season, but next season. So you're right. I mean, I'm an idiot. I don't know about smart sticks and fire sticks, and I know. What's the ice cream you have on a stick? The popsicles. That's what I know about a stick. I mean,
Well, from what I'm hearing is that if you don't have a smart TV, in other words, you have a dumb TV, which I have here. From what I've been told by some experts is, it doesn't matter if you have a dumb TV, you can still put a smart stick in there and it becomes a smart TV. In fact, they would rather do it because they think it works better that way. So I don't think you have to worry about going and buying all new TVs. You just have to go get the sticks.
You know all about technology. You're my technology guy. John, what's going on? I got to get water to Las Vegas. You said they could take a dumb TV and stick a stick in and make it a smart TV. Can we do that to some of our politicians?
Ooh, you know what? That's a great idea. Yeah. But I think
that's impossible. Something and then, hey.
Yeah, but if the TV has no reception, it won't work if you put the stick.
Well, these politicians. Please get a Similac, please. Just do it. Anyone. Daly's got a lot of connections. All right. Stop bombing Ukraine. Get a Similac. Stop shooting up hospitals. This is why you watch Daily Fish. We feel the same things you guys do, but we're sports and entertainment. We want to bring you out of that, and hopefully we can. A friend of the show and an alumni, Eric Mathis, who just is going to release his feature film called The Macabre. So proud of this guy. He goes,
great.
There's a chance on one of his future shows that John Daly and Eric Snyder are going to be killed. We're going to be in a movie and killed doing a podcast. So we need you to go to Daily Fish. John, what's our email address and all this stuff? And get comment. And
it's dailyfish1@gmail.com.
Okay. And then anywhere you can get a hold of us and tell us how you want us to die doing the podcast. And don't say it by lousy ratings. All right, John. Let's hear about Monday and let's.
That's a crowd pleaser. All right. So we're gonna talk a lot about sports entertainment on Monday. Of course, we always have Heidi's Hollywood giving us inside scoops from Tinseltown. Plus, we have Steve Sear. He's going to be he's the top casino host in Vegas. He has some great stories inside the casinos. His book is called, and if you get a chance to read it ahead of time before we interview him, this would be really good. It's called Whale Hunting in the Desert. And Fish, believe it or not, you know who came up with that name, that title? Was John O'Hurley. O'Hurley's actually good friends with him. And so he was the one, when Steve Sear was writing the book, he couldn't find the right title. And O'Hurley came up with it. So that's even better. So that's cool.
Who's John O'Hurley? I don't know who that guy is. Is John O'Hurley? Wait a minute. Excuse me. Is this Johnny Depp's agent? John O'Hurley just took the role as Ron Jeremy. Too bad. John O'Hurley's great. Seinfeld actor, great guy, friend of the show. Let's see, John O'Hurley's more talented than he thinks he is.
Oh my God! Of course he is. I have to keep telling him that because he's just so modest. So anyway, we should also say that Steve Sear is an amateur boxer. He's going to talk about that. I'm really pumped about having him on the show with us. On Monday, we're going to talk about what's happening in the playoffs over the weekend. We're also going to hit the controversy over the Saudi Golf League that is taking players like Dustin Johnson. We're going to also examine some cities, as Fish talked about, some cities that have more visiting fans. And Fish and I we have some other opinions on that stuff. Plus the hard line and his bets are here for you as well. And we got a whole lot coming up for you. We have our Schmuck of the Week, Who's Got the Swag, and Something Fishy. Again, remember, Daily Fish is live on Facebook Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. All you got to do is go to Facebook at daily.fish.5. We are also on Facebook on the Myrtle Beach Golf Channel and Myrtle Beach Grand Strand Life. Catch us on YouTube at Daily Fish, and we are on Wingding TV. You can also get their app as well. And you can also hear us. If you don't want to look at us, you can just hear us. And we're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, Stitcher, and iHeart. Again, drop us a line at dailyfish1, the number one, dailyfish1 at gmail.com. And Fish, I would say that is the daily hook for this week.
Can I add something? We got 30 seconds about our guy, John Hardison. He was 68% with the NFL and college football, which is terrific. He's about 73% with prop bets. So if anyone has a prop bet
Yeah.
out there, John, I'll throw it at you.
Yeah.
Get us. John just told you the email. If you have any prop bets you're interested in, if you have any, hey,
Yeah.
who's going to hit more home runs the second half of the season? Any over and unders on the NFL season? Get to us, and we'll have hardline. We'll have hardline shouted out to you.
Absolutely. Again, Daily Fish. We'll see you guys Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Love you, John.
Love you too, big boy. Thanks.
That was great. See, you're great. That was great. You saw John.